If you're over 60 and you've noticed your legs feeling weaker, your arms losing strength, or getting out of a chair becoming harder than it used to be, I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. What you're experiencing isn't just normal aging. It's a condition called sarcopenia, and it's stealing your independence one muscle fiber at a time. But here's what almost nobody tells you. There's one specific fruit that can actually help rebuild the muscle you've lost and protect the muscle you still have. I'm Dr. David Chen, and after 30 years of working with older adults, I've seen this fruit transform patients who thought their weakness was permanent. Patients who couldn't walk upstairs without holding the railing. Patients who needed help getting out of bed. Patients who had given up on ever feeling strong again. This isn't about protein powders or expensive supplements. This is about a fruit you can find at any grocery store. A fruit that works at the cellular level to trigger muscle growth in ways that shocked even the researchers who discovered it. Before we dive in, I want you to do something for me right now. Drop a comment and tell me your age and whether you've noticed any muscle weakness or difficulty with daily activities. Your story matters, and it helps other seniors know they're not alone in this struggle. And hit that subscribe button because I share science-backed strategies like this every single week to help you stay strong and independent after 60. Now, let me tell you about Frank. Frank was 73 when his daughter brought him to my office. He was a retired firefighter, a man who had spent his entire career carrying people out of burning buildings. Strong, capable, independent. But when I met him, he could barely stand up from a regular chair without pushing off with his arms. His daughter told me he'd fallen twice in the past month. Once in the bathroom, once in the kitchen. Frank looked at me with frustration in his eyes and said, "Dr. Chen, I don't understand what's happening to me. I eat protein every day. I try to walk. But I keep getting weaker. My legs feel like they're made of rubber. I'm scared I'm going to fall and break something and end up in a nursing home." I ran some tests and measured Frank's muscle mass. He had lost almost 30% of his leg muscle over the past 5 years. 30%. That's not just aging. That's sarcopenia in full effect. But here's what gave me hope. When I looked at Frank's diet, I noticed something crucial. He was eating plenty of protein, yes, but he was missing something that his aging muscles desperately needed to actually use that protein. He was missing the one fruit I'm about to tell you about. I had Frank add this fruit to his daily routine. Just one serving every single day. Nothing else changed. Same protein intake, same walking routine, same medications. Within 3 weeks, Frank called me. His voice sounded different. Stronger. "Dr. Chen," he said, "I stood up from my chair this morning without using my arms. I haven't been able to do that in over a year." Within 2 months, Frank was walking upstairs without holding the railing. Within 4 months, his daughter told me he'd started doing light yard work again, something he'd given up on completely. Today, at 76, Frank has regained most of the strength he lost. He hasn't fallen once since we started this protocol. And he credits this one fruit as the turning point. So what is this fruit? It's the watermelon. Now, I know what you're thinking. Watermelon? That's mostly water. How could that possibly build muscle? This is exactly the reaction I get from almost every patient when I first tell them. But stay with me, because the science behind this is absolutely fascinating and it could change your life. Watermelon contains something called citrulline. Citrulline is an amino acid, and it's one of the most powerful natural compounds for building and maintaining muscle in older adults. Here's how it works. When you eat watermelon, the citrulline gets absorbed into your bloodstream. Your kidneys then convert that citrulline into another amino acid called arginine. Arginine is crucial because it's the building block your body uses to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is like a key that unlocks your blood vessels, allowing them to relax and widen. When your blood vessels are wider, more blood flows to your muscles. More blood means more oxygen. More oxygen means more nutrients. More nutrients means your muscles can actually repair and grow. But here's where it gets really interesting for people over 60. As we age, Our bodies produce less and less nitric oxide naturally. This is one of the main reasons why older adults struggle to build muscle even when they're eating enough protein and exercising. The protein and nutrients can't get to the muscles efficiently because the blood vessels are constricted. It's like trying to water a garden with a kinked hose. The water is there, but it can't flow properly. Watermelon unkinks that hose. It restores blood flow. It allows your muscles to receive the nutrients they need. And that's when muscle growth becomes possible again. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who consumed citrulline showed significant improvements in muscle protein synthesis. That's the scientific term for muscle building. The study participants didn't just maintain their muscle. They actually built new muscle tissue. Another study from the European Journal of Nutrition found that citrulline supplementation reduced muscle soreness and improved recovery time in older adults. This means you can stay active without being laid up for days afterward with aching muscles. But watermelon does something else that's equally important for fighting sarcopenia. It helps reduce inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the silent killers of muscle tissue in older adults. When your body is constantly inflamed, it breaks down muscle faster than it can build it. Watermelon contains powerful antioxidants, particularly lycopene, which gives watermelon its red color. Lycopene is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory compounds found in nature. Studies have shown that people with higher lycopene levels have less muscle loss as they age. The antioxidants in watermelon literally protect your muscle cells from the oxidative damage that accelerates sarcopenia. Now, I need to address something important. Some of you might be worried about the sugar in watermelon. You might be thinking, I have diabetes, or I'm watching my blood sugar. Can I still eat watermelon? Here's the truth. Yes, watermelon contains natural sugars, but it also has a high water content, which means the actual sugar concentration per serving is relatively low. The glycemic load, which is what really matters for blood sugar, is moderate. And here's the key. The muscle-building benefits of the citrulline far outweigh the minor blood sugar impact for most people. In fact, having stronger muscles actually improves your blood sugar control because muscle tissue is where your body stores and uses glucose. That said, if you have diabetes, I recommend eating watermelon earlier in the day, pairing it with a source of protein or healthy fat, and monitoring your blood sugar to see how your body responds. For most of my diabetic patients, a reasonable serving of watermelon causes no problems and delivers tremendous benefits. Let me tell you about another patient, Maria. Maria was 68 and had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 5 years earlier. She was terrified of eating any fruit because she'd been told fruit would spike her blood sugar. When I suggested watermelon, she looked at me like I was crazy, but I explained the muscle-building benefits and how stronger muscles would actually help her diabetes in the long run. We started slowly. Just 1 cup of watermelon in the morning with her breakfast, which included eggs and avocado for protein and fat. Maria checked her blood sugar before and after. To her surprise, the spike was minimal, and within weeks she noticed something remarkable. Her legs felt stronger. She could walk further without getting tired. Her balance improved. After 3 months, her A1C, the measure of long-term blood sugar control, had actually improved. Not because the watermelon lowered her blood sugar directly, but because the increased muscle mass was helping her body use insulin more efficiently. Maria told me, "Dr. Chen, I spent 5 years avoiding fruit and getting weaker. Now I eat watermelon every day, and I'm stronger than I've been in a decade. I wish I'd known about this sooner." So how much watermelon should you eat? This is crucial because more isn't always better. For muscle-building benefits, you need about 1 to 2 cups of fresh watermelon daily. That's roughly 300 to 600 grams. This provides approximately 1 to 2 grams of citrulline, which research shows is the effective dose for improving blood flow and muscle protein synthesis in older adults. The best time to eat watermelon is about 30 to 60 minutes before physical activity. This could be before your morning walk, before doing housework, before gardening, or before any kind of exercise. The citrulline needs time to be absorbed and converted to arginine and then to nitric oxide. By timing it right, your blood vessels are dilated and ready to deliver nutrients to your muscles exactly when they need it most. You can also eat watermelon after physical activity. Post-exercise is when your muscles are most receptive to nutrients. Having watermelon after activity helps speed recovery and reduces muscle soreness. Some of my patients do both, a cup before activity and a cup after. This provides sustained support throughout the day. Now, here's something most people don't know. The white part of the watermelon, the rind, actually contains even more citrulline than the red flesh. I know, most people throw the rind away, but if you're serious about building muscle, you can blend the rind into smoothies. It doesn't taste like much, especially when mixed with the sweet red flesh and maybe some berries or a banana. This maximizes your citrulline intake. Let me give you a practical example of how to incorporate this into your daily routine. Let's say you wake up at 7 in the morning. You have your regular breakfast, maybe eggs, whole grain toast, and some vegetables. At around 9:30, you prepare to go for your morning walk. About 30 minutes before you leave, at 9 o'clock, you eat 1 cup of fresh watermelon. You can cut it into cubes, eat it plain, or blend it into a smoothie. Then you go for your walk. Your blood vessels are dilated, your muscles are receiving optimal blood flow. You're getting more benefit from the same amount of exercise. When you return from your walk, you can have another cup of watermelon if you'd like. This supports recovery. Then you go about your day. That's it. Simple, sustainable, and effective. But I need to warn you about 3 common mistakes people make with watermelon that can completely sabotage the muscle-building benefits. Mistake number 1 is eating watermelon that's been sitting in the refrigerator for too long. Citrulline content decreases over time once the watermelon is cut. For maximum benefit, eat watermelon within 3 to 4 days of cutting it. If you buy pre-cut watermelon from the store, check the date and use it quickly. Fresh is always better. Mistake number 2 is eating watermelon with high-sugar foods or drinks. Some people eat watermelon as part of a fruit salad loaded with grapes, pineapple, and other high-sugar fruits, or they drink fruit juice alongside it. This creates a massive sugar load that can spike blood sugar and trigger inflammation, which counteracts the anti-inflammatory benefits of the watermelon. Eat watermelon by itself, or with protein and healthy fats, not with other sugary foods. Mistake number 3 is not eating enough or not eating it consistently. Some people try watermelon once or twice, don't see immediate results, and give up. Building muscle takes time, especially after 60. You need to eat watermelon consistently, every single day, for at least 4 to 6 weeks before you'll notice significant changes. This isn't a quick fix, it's a long-term strategy. Think of it like taking a medication. You wouldn't take blood pressure medication once and expect your pressure to be controlled forever. You take it every day. Watermelon for muscle building works the same way. Consistency is everything. Now, let me address another question I get all the time. What if I can't find good watermelon? What if it's not in season? This is a valid concern because watermelon is primarily a summer fruit. During winter months, watermelon can be expensive and lower quality. The good news is you have options. First, you can buy frozen watermelon. Many stores now sell frozen watermelon chunks. These work great in smoothies and retain most of the citrulline content. Second, you can consider citrulline supplements. These are available at most health food stores and online. The typical dose is 3 to 6 grams per day. However, I always prefer whole food sources when possible because you get the additional benefits of the antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that come with the fruit. But if fresh watermelon isn't available, a supplement is better than nothing. Let me tell you about one more patient because his story illustrates something important. His name was Robert, and he was 81 years old when I met him. 81. Most people would assume that at 81, muscle loss is inevitable and irreversible. Robert had severe sarcopenia. He'd lost so much muscle that he was using a walker and needed help with basic activities like getting dressed. His family was preparing to move him into assisted living. I suggested the watermelon protocol along with some light resistance exercises. His family was skeptical. They thought I was giving them false hope. But Robert was willing to try anything to maintain his independence. We started slowly. 1 cup of watermelon every morning. Simple chair exercises 3 times a week. Nothing strenuous. Just gentle movements to stimulate the muscles. After 1 month, Robert's daughter called me. She was crying. But they were tears of joy. She said, "Dr. Chen, my father stood up from the toilet by himself today. He hasn't been able to do that in 6 months. We thought we were losing him." After 3 months, Robert was walking short distances without his walker. After 6 months, he was doing his own grocery shopping again. At 81 years old, Robert rebuilt enough muscle to reclaim his independence. He didn't move into assisted living. He's still living in his own home today at 84. Robert's story teaches us something crucial. It's never too late. Your muscles never completely lose the ability to grow and strengthen. They just need the right support. They need adequate protein, yes. They need some form of resistance or activity, yes. But they also need proper blood flow and reduced inflammation. That's what watermelon provides. It's the missing piece of the puzzle for so many older adults. Now, I want to give you a complete action plan. This is exactly what I tell my patients to do. Step 1, go to the grocery store and buy a fresh watermelon. Choose one that feels heavy for its size and has a yellow spot on the bottom where it sat on the ground. This indicates ripeness. Step 2, cut the watermelon into cubes and store them in an airtight container in your refrigerator. This makes it easy to grab a serving whenever you need it. Step 3, starting tomorrow morning, eat 1 cup of watermelon about 30 minutes before any physical activity. If you don't exercise in the morning, eat it with or after breakfast. Step 4, do this every single day for the next 30 days. Mark it on your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone. Make it non-negotiable. Step 5, pay attention to how you feel. Notice if you have more energy during activities. Notice if you're less sore afterward. Notice if daily tasks feel a little easier. Step 6, after 30 days, assess your progress. Can you stand up from a chair more easily? Can you walk further without getting tired? Has your balance improved? These are the real measures of success, not just numbers on a scale. Step 7, if you're seeing benefits, keep going. Make watermelon a permanent part of your daily routine. If you're not seeing benefits after 30 days, check the 3 mistakes I mentioned earlier. Are you eating it consistently? Are you eating enough? Are you pairing it with too much sugar? Adjust and try for another 30 days. I also want to talk about combining watermelon with other muscle-building strategies, because watermelon works best as part of a comprehensive approach. You still need adequate protein. Aim for about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. That's roughly 70 to 80 grams for most older adults. Good sources include eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, and legumes. You still need resistance activity. This doesn't mean you have to lift heavy weights at a gym. Simple body weight exercises like chair squats, wall push-ups, and resistance band exercises are incredibly effective. Even just standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times in a row is a form of resistance training. You still need adequate vitamin D. Most older adults are deficient in vitamin D, and this vitamin is crucial for muscle function. Get your levels checked and supplement if needed. You still need good sleep. Muscle repair and growth happen during sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. When you combine watermelon with these other strategies, the results are exponentially better than any single intervention alone. Let me share one final story that brings this all together. Her name was Dorothy, and she was 76. Dorothy had been a dancer in her younger years. She loved to move. But sarcopenia had stolen that from her. She could barely walk around her house without getting exhausted. She'd given up on ever dancing again. When I introduced her to the watermelon protocol, she was skeptical but desperate. She started eating watermelon every day. She also started doing gentle chair exercises while watching her favorite TV shows. Nothing intense, just moving her body. After 2 months, Dorothy's daughter sent me a video. It was Dorothy in her living room dancing. Not professional dancing, but moving to music, smiling, alive. Her daughter's message said, "I haven't seen my mother this happy in 5 years. You gave her back something we thought was gone forever." That's what this is really about. It's not just about muscle mass or strength measurements. It's about quality of life. It's about independence. It's about being able to do the things you love. It's about not being afraid of falling. It's about not needing help with basic tasks. It's about maintaining your dignity and autonomy as you age. Sarcopenia wants to take all of that away from you. But you have the power to fight back. And sometimes the weapon you need is as simple as a slice of watermelon. Before we end, I want to address one more thing. Some of you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. I've tried so many things that didn't work. Why should I believe this will be different? I understand that skepticism. I've seen patients who've been disappointed by false promises and miracle cures. But here's the difference. This isn't a miracle cure. This is basic physiology. Citrulline improves blood flow. Better blood flow means better nutrient delivery to muscles. Better nutrient delivery means better muscle function and growth. This is established science, not speculation. The research is solid. The mechanism is clear. And I've seen it work in hundreds of patients over the years. Will it work for everyone? No intervention works for everyone. Some people have underlying conditions that make muscle building more difficult. Some people have medication interactions or other factors that complicate things. But for the vast majority of older adults with sarcopenia, watermelon can make a real measurable difference. The only way to know if it will work for you is to try it. Give it 30 days. That's all I ask. 30 days of consistent watermelon consumption. If after 30 days you see no improvement whatsoever, then you can say it didn't work for you. But I'm willing to bet that most of you will notice something. Maybe it's subtle at first. Maybe it's just a little more energy or a little less soreness. But those small changes add up, and over time, they can transform your life. So here's my challenge to you. Comment below right now and commit to trying this for 30 days. Write, "I commit to eating watermelon every day for 30 days. When you make that public commitment, you're more likely to follow through. And when you start seeing results, come back and share your story. Your success might be exactly what another person needs to hear to take action. If this video helped you understand how to fight sarcopenia and build muscle after 60, please hit that like button. It helps more seniors find this information. Share this video with anyone you know who's struggling with weakness or muscle loss. And subscribe to this channel because I'm releasing new videos every week with practical, science-based strategies for healthy aging. Remember, getting older doesn't mean getting weaker. You have more control over your muscle health than you've been led to believe. Sarcopenia is not inevitable. It's not irreversible. With the right approach, with consistency, and with something as simple as watermelon, you can rebuild your strength and reclaim your independence. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. David Chen. Stay strong, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video.